History Channel.
Welcome back to the Roman Reigns podcast right here on the Wrestling History Channel. We have Isa. Remember, put up your ones for your tribal chief as always. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Ready to get into the next era of the Roman Reigns saga.
Yeah, he's buying a yard, apparently. He's really interested in owning his own yard, and that's what we'll talk about today. But first off, if you haven't been paying attention to the history of the Roman Reigns podcast, we are currently going through SummerSlams to SummerSlams because WrestleMania to WrestleMania, there's too much there. SummerSlam to SummerSlam. You get a little bit more meat on that bone. In September 2016, Roman Reigns is still involved with Rusev, and he's earned himself a U.S. championship. And I think a lot of fans were pointing at their TVs. Not everybody. A lot of people were going, haha, they're just giving him a championship because we'll be so angry if he wins the world title. Thoughts?
Yeah, but it's like, what do you guys want? Like, they put him out of the main title picture at this point, and fans are still upset because they're putting him in the mid-card. Like, people, you know what? You get it. You get it, right?
I understand, but Clash of Champions, September 25th, Roman Reigns does win the U.S. Championship against Rusev. And this is where more hate lands on Roman Reigns because he doesn't hold the championship the right way, according to wrestling fans. Now, is there a right way to hold a championship?
However Roman Reigns holds it, that is the right way to hold it.
Because I have seen so many people critique where, you'll have Bubba Ray Dudley, like, oh, you can't hold it like this. And then there's a picture of him wearing it like a necklace. You're like, well, sir. Or like Steve Austin used to just throw the world title around. Undertaker would drag it. People would wear it backwards. John Cena used to spin. So I always was confused why there was so much hate. They were just finding anything about Roman Reigns to hate.
I think that the wrestlers and their characters should probably make it their own. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do your own thing, make it your own. I don't understand. Sometimes I do think that we just find things to complain about. This was heavily the case.
Man, your dog is upset about the U.S. Championship.
Yeah, because he knows Roman Reigns is main event material.
That's true. Your dog is named Roman Reigns. Well, I guess not Reigns. Is it a full name dog? Is it Roman Reigns or just
it's
Roman?
Roman King.
Roman King. Okay.
Yes, I made the mistake of giving him that name, and obviously you hear the attitude now.
Yeah, 100% I hear it. This is also around the time they had Hell in the Cell pay-per-views where every single main event match needed a Hell in the Cell. What's your thoughts on having that happen? It doesn't happen that often anymore, but when you have a Hell in the Cell or a TLC or Elimination Chamber, I think you know what you're getting when you're watching a pay-per-view called Elimination Chamber.
They decided to get rid of it so that we could have War Games take its place.
Yeah, but honestly, I didn't mind it, but also I think everyone, I use that term too lightly. Some people used to think, well, a Hell in a Cell, we need blood, we need guts, I need someone thrown off the top, I need fire, I need thumbtacks, and then we got to these pay-per-view Hell in the Cells, and no longer where you're going to get 3 of those types of matches. You're going to get a match inside of a Hell in the Cell instead of, all right, this time I'm going to use glass, and then we'll get some Legos. Like, it's changed over the years.
I think it made people get creative with their Hell in a Cell matches and their styles and how do we do it to set it differently. At some point, which is I believe was this one, the one in Boston, where they allowed the women to have their first Hell in a Cell match. So they really had to like go out of their way to figure out how do we make it differently. But I do remember this one being a 3 Hell in a Cell matches in one pay-per-view, which to me is a little bit of an overkill.
Well, yeah, especially when it's just, hey, you beat me for the U.S. title. Yes, I did. I also pushed you in cake. Yes, you did. Well, then let's fight in a Hell in a Cell. Well,
yeah, when that's supposed to be like the ultimate. And I like that now it restored that. Now it feels that way. They bring Hell in a Cell when it's necessary and not just because it's a yearly pay-per-view and we have to do it.
Yeah, good point. And we are in 2016. So we're heading into Survivor Series where we actually having Team SmackDown and Team Raw. And this is one of my favorite Survivor Series buildups because we have moments in the ring with Jericho just insulting everybody. James Ellsworth is there as well. There's a lot of, wow, this is 2016. Now, let's read off the teams, though. So on Team Raw, you have Kevin Owens, who's the captain because he's the champ. Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, who's the U.S. champion. I forgot to mention, Jericho is on fire at this point with the list.
So good.
And he is one of the greatest characters at this point, wearing scarves. And he's hanging out with Kevin Owens. They become best friends. They hug each other. They're very, very entertaining. But he also
My favorite Jericho run out of many, because he's reinvented himself so much. But the Liz Festival of Friendship era of Jericho is just unmatched.
It's very true. It's interesting to think that Jericho in 2008, he had this amazing run where he started wearing suits and he blinded Shawn Michaels. He punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face. Like, there's a lot of Jericho there. But then you also have the Ayatollah of rock and roll when he came in with the walls of Jericho. Like, there's always been different parts of him. And of course, a little bit of the bubbly. Jericho has changed over the years. But this 2016 Jericho, I really enjoyed.
Top tier.
Because it wasn't his matches, though. It was anytime he wasn't in the ring. It was every time he was talking was the best part of Jericho.
During this build, I do remember him putting AJ Styles' stupid soccer mom's haircut on the list, and you can see the entire team, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, just losing it. They're just losing it because nobody could keep. I don't know how people kept a straight face around some of the things that they did. This was fun.
I remember Jericho put Xavier Woods on the list, but he kept building it. He's like, Xavier? He's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And he like flicks his pen, like, no, don't do it. You're on the list. You made the list. And Xavier Woods, no, not the trombone.
Like, people talk about, like, today's generation talk about, like, the bracelet, how Drew McIntyre and CM Punk made such a big deal about a bracelet. And I'm like, were you not there during the pen clip era? Because we were popping for a pen clipping on a weekly basis. Like, this has always been a thing on wrestling.
Well, I think it's funny that people were so obsessed with a bracelet and it being broken or not being broken or put in a storyline because, flashback to 1999, the Big Boss Man killed Al Snow's pet and then fed it to him.
Yeah, right.
Fed it to him.
I wasn't watching during those years.
You don't have to, but people are like, I can't believe that he put beads in his mouth from his bracelet. How dare he? Someone fed another dog.
Fun fact, I had no idea about this until listening to your former podcast, the Fan Podcast. I remember you mentioning it on one of the podcasts I was listening to, and I was like, excuse me? And I went into a rabbit hole. So thanks, Steve, for introducing me to that storyline.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. I know a lot of people are like, Austin, Rock, DX. Like, well, there's also, a female stable called PMS. There's also a miscarriage storyline. There's people giving birth to hands. There's all types of shit. So I'm glad we're introducing people to the past here on the Wrestling History Channel because, boy, I got a lot more to talk about, especially with weird shit in wrestling. But I love the 2016 Survivor Series because this is when the brand split happened, and finally we were back to the brand split meaning something. Separate pay-per-views. We had 2 pay-per-views a month with both brands. I loved it. Every 2 weeks, you had a new event, and if you watch TNA, you could watch them. If you watch New Japan, you had every single weekend, you could watch something that was big and important. And Team Raw, Kevin Owens, Jericho, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins without a tan. He looks a little sloppy here. And Braun Strowman. On Team SmackDown, you have the captain, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Shane McMahon.
So good.
Wow.
And this match was lit. I love this match.
It's interesting as we podcast that Kevin Owens, not active. Jericho, not active, I guess, in the WWE. Seth Rollins is injured. Roman Reigns constantly on vacation. And Braun Strowman is out of the company.
Eating food.
AJ, I know it's so crazy that show's doing very well in ratings too. AJ Styles still active. He's retired next year. Dean Ambrose in AEW. Randy Orton, he's in and out. Bray Wyatt unfortunately passed away. And Shane McMahon again kicked out of the company by his family. So look at that. That's 2016. If we want to give away, it's 2025 November when we're recording this. It's insane that just a few years go by and mostly everybody on that team is no longer active or in the company or unfortunately alive.
Yeah.
Man. Roman Reigns did eliminate Shane McMahon midair with a spear. And this is when Shane McMahon was injured. He got knocked out and he is just wobbly legged. Do you remember this?
Yes, I remember this. I thought Roman killed him with that spear. I think there was some footage of Randy kind of sneaking over to tell his kids that Shane was okay, to tell Shane's kids that he was okay, because everybody was freaked out about this. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he gonna hit like a coast to coast and
Yep.
Roman caught in mid-air with the spear? It's such a good spot.
It just looks so rough. And I forget what
I would
documentary I
love to
watched this
take that
on.
spear from Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, what?
No. The documentary I was watching about Shane McMahon, it was recently, I was watching something, and it kind of brought up like Shane McMahon just wanted a goddamn hug from his dad. Like all
Yeah,
these
he
things
was
that
willing to
Shane
die.
McMahon is doing is to Dad. Did you think did you like that?
Are you
Yeah.
proud of me, Papa?
No. God damn it, no. I'm gonna write you the worst happy birthday tweet ever. And people are gonna still bring it up today.
Shane McMahon birthday tweet is legendary.
I just think it's so strange. Like, I understand, like, Stephanie, she just shows up and he's like, oh, my little princess. But then the son's like, you piece of garbage. You suck. Jump off that. What? But Dad, I don't want to jump off that.
You don't have a favorite kid?
I have a favorite kid, but I'm not going to say. Well, actually, I have two favorite kids. And then I have 3 kids, though. So do the math on that.
My nephews, I don't have kids, but my nephews throw in my face every time that they know which one my favorite is. It's so funny. It's like a whole war within my 3 nephews.
Well, it's common knowledge in family. There's always going to be favorites here, but you know, during this matchup though, the Shield actually get together and because Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles are on the same team, but yet they don't like each other because AJ is the world champion. So we want to set up a scenario where the Shield reunite again to powerbomb AJ Styles through the table. This will be like the first
so loud.
Big moment of the Shield looking around at each other like, wait, we were together. Wait, like the Spider-Man meme when everyone's pointing at each other like, we should powerbomb someone together. Yeah, we should do that. And then, you know, they do it. Roman Reigns, though, wins the match.
Big pop. Of course.
Excuse me. Roman Reigns is the last man eliminated by Bray Wyatt. This is when Bray Wyatt is on fire with Randy Orton, having a great storyline, building to WrestleMania. But Team SmackDown wins. Roman Reigns loses, and I bet someone has something to complain about.
No, I like the Raw versus SmackDown era of things, and I like seeing Roman in. You know, the internet probably found something to complain about. Like you said, maybe he killed Shane McMahon. Shame on him. You know, push him further down the card. But I was happy with this.
Yeah, and this is I just feel bad for Shane McMahon. So it's this poor boy, this poor man.
He went on to be okay.
Yeah, he's got 3 amazing sons, you know, beautiful wife, and it's just so funny that he wanted to buy the UFC too a long time ago. And Vince like that shit. Who wants to watch that shit? Well, Hooters and Buffalo Wild Wings for like 15 years were clearing out on Saturday nights having UFC fights every single weekend. If you attend those establishments, I've never been to a Hooters.
Same.
I have definitely been to a Hooters.
Same.
I remember texting someone from WWE about it, and they came over and we had some wings. It was fun. December 2016, though, Roadblock, End of the Line. This is when they started just bringing back weird names. You had Roadblock, Fastlane, things of that nature. But there's a WCW wrestler named Roadblock, so everyone loves that meme where when Roadblock comes out, they just show the picture of this, like, you know, the slouch in WCW named Roadblock. Like, look, it's him. Like, I get the joke, but can we all stop posting the same picture? Go find another picture of Roadblock. You know, can we do that? What do you think, though? We're heading into clearly a Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns rivalry, and Jericho's involved as well. But were you thinking like, okay, Jericho and Kevin Owens are going to break up the whole time? Or are you thinking like, oh, this is just a great friendship? Because now in today's world, we see someone form a friendship. We're like, oh, they're going to break up soon and fight. We're just waiting for them to break up and fight. I didn't really feel like Jericho and Owens were going to break up and fight.
I didn't feel they were going to break up. Even I thought it was funny because I remember at some segments they would lean into the rumors that they were going to break up and they would end up trolling us. And I was just having so much fun that I didn't see them breaking up. Not that soon, at least.
That's so funny you say that. I do remember the internet trying to sleuth, like, oh, they're breaking up. And then they pretended they were breaking up just to fool everybody.
Yeah, it was a segment where they blamed Roman Reigns. They were like pretending they were going at it, and they were like, "Wait, do you know whose fault it is?" And they both yelled Roman Reigns and hugged it out. I love that segment.
The internet, they didn't have nothing. Also, Roman Reigns defeats Kevin Owens on an episode of Raw to earn a championship match at Roadblock for the Universal Championship. They don't really do that much anymore, but my God, was this a thing for so long where you beat the champion for the title? Excuse me, you beat the champion in a non-title match to earn the chance to fight them again, but for the championship. I never liked that at all. I thought that was such a waste and just what are you doing?
No, I'd rather see the match on pay-per-view. Like, do something different to name the number one contender, because if you already beat him, you're making your champion beatable. You're giving us the match already on free TV. It was just, I felt it was pointless. And they still do it here and there, but not as often as they were doing it during this time. Because they were doing it with all the titles too. The mid-cards, you with the champion now, you get a title shot. And we will get to see the match over again on pay-per-view. Why?
So yeah, you have to pay to see them fight again for the championship, but you just watched on Raw or SmackDown where they fought each other, but the title wasn't on the line. Like, okay, I get it. Yeah, they did that for every championship. I couldn't stand that shit. It drove me up a wall. I know they kind of stopped it, but now the teasing of the Jericho Kevin Owens breakup really comes to play here at Roadblock, because Jericho realizes that how can Kevin Owens win the match but actually not beating Roman Reigns, because they can't beat Roman Reigns. Well, Jericho accidentally gives Kevin Owens the code breaker, which then gets Kevin Owens, like Roman Reigns, disqualified. That means Kevin Owens wins the match because of Chris Jericho. I love this. It's a genius idea.
I always thought about it. Like, there's so many things that even the other day with just recently when Drew and Cody were having that, if Cody gets DQ'd, he loses. And I'm like, why doesn't Drew find somebody to come in and hit him, pay them or something? Like, I always thought that this logic should be used more, and I appreciate it when they do use it.
Yeah, I always, it drives me crazy when it's like a no holds barred match and all you're using is kendo sticks and chairs.
Right.
I'm like, hello, bring down a knife. Like, blap.
Yeah, I wish that they would use this kind of logic more, especially from the heels. Like, yeah, okay, you want to keep your baby faces so heroic, but the heels should be outsmarting them in heel ways, and they did that here with Jericho and Kevin Owens.
Also, I want to tip my hat to you, because last week you were wearing a hat. This week you're wearing a t-shirt and a hat of Roman Reigns.
I wore a t-shirt and a hat last week.
Oh, you did wear a t-shirt last week? A different one?
Yeah, it was a different one.
Okay, because the OTC is pretty prominent. I'm like, oh shit, there it is. Next week you'll have armbands, like fake Roman Reigns tattoos.
Well, I don't need fake tattoos. I have real Roman.
Well, you have real ones, but I'm talking about you have sleeves like Roman Reigns. Like on your arms and chest, whatever. Yeah. Next week you wear the glove. All right. Next week wear the glove.
I will wear it. It's in here somewhere.
Now we are told at Royal Rumble we're gonna get Jericho in a shark cage, while Kevin Owens takes on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. I forever do not enjoy shark cage matches. Your thoughts on shark cage matches?
They're so stupid. But I don't want to say I don't enjoy them, because I do think if you put somebody entertaining in that shark cage, it does add up to it. Jericho was entertaining. Recently we saw it with Dom Mysterio. There's been a handful of them that I'm like, well, I appreciate it because I like who's in the shark cage and what could they possibly do.
Now there's one where Jerry Lawler's in it, and he apparently had like a scab in his mouth and he made his nose bleed. A scab in his nose. He made his nose. So he was pretending he was having a nosebleed while in a shark cage. Like, oh, I'm so nervous. And in the real world, I've never seen someone get to a height and like, oh my God, my nose is bleeding. I know that's a thing in like TV and cartoons, but I've never actually seen someone in the real world have a bloody nose while on a roller coaster or climbing up something really high.
Same.
It's weird.
Wrestling weird, actually, because you're right. They make it seem like it happens all the time. I never seen it happen.
Maybe this world is suffering from nosebleeds and I'm just not. I'm one of the lucky few.
I've had nosebleeds before, but no.
Just sitting around.
Right.
Just like, oh shit, what's going on? What's happening? Oh, okay. I'm not on a roller coaster. I'm not climbing the Empire State Building.
Yeah, no.
No, it's very weird stuff. Now, heading to this Royal Rumble, this is when Jericho and Kevin Owens wrestle Roman Reigns on an episode of Raw. Now, if you're keeping track at home, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns are fighting a lot on free television.
I'm pretty sure that's people talk about Roman and Brock. I think Kevin Owens is the one that Roman has fought the most when it comes to his iconic rivalries.
Ooh. By numbers, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
If we're counting Raw and SmackDowns and PLEs and pay-per-views. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
just by
Kevin
doing
Owens
research for
is
this.
one of Roman Reigns, if not top Roman Reigns, like most like that he's fought the most. Because people
Wow.
talk about Brock and I'm like, no, it's Kevin Owens. Take it from a Roman Reigns historian, obviously.
I would say yes, of course. I would say, yeah, I wonder who the third person is then. Because you probably definitely Kevin Owens, Brock, maybe Seth Rollins is third.
I don't think he's fought Seth Rollins one-on-one that much.
Braun Strowman probably is his third then.
They didn't really have that many though.
Wow. Interesting. That's
You
interesting.
have me thinking about that. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one on next time we record because I gotta really think it through because he's had a couple of people that he's fought a lot.
I'm so happy you said that because Kevin Owens, I guess, is clearly not getting the credit he deserves for being someone who's been involved with the different stages of Roman Reigns when everyone takes giant dumps on Brock Lesnar for having maybe 6 matches with Roman. Kevin Owens has had like 25 just by reading off this list here.
And we haven't even gotten to the Tribal Chief era where he had another 20.
I think he thought 3 pay-per-views in a row.
Mm-hmm. But I love this match. I was at that Royal Rumble 2017 in San Antonio.
You were?
This match. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about this Royal Rumble in a second because before this, the handicap match, Jericho ends up winning the match, pinning Roman Reigns. Now, Jericho pins Roman Reigns, not Kevin Owens. So right. Jericho is now the United States champion. And this is where the cracks start to appear on the internet where everyone's like, oh, Jericho versus Kevin. But now you have 2 champions. So you're wondering, like, how can Kevin Owens as a Universal Champion take on the U.S. champion at WrestleMania? We'll probably get to that later on. But Roman Reigns, he does not win here at the Royal Rumble against Kevin Owens. He loses.
It's a stupid Braun Strowman.
Stupid Braun Strowman. You got something against Braun?
Yeah, anybody that's done Roman Reigns dirty, I have beef with, and I have him blocked on Twitter. He's one of them.
Wow. You've blocked Braun Strowman?
Yeah. If you have ever done Roman Reigns dirty, you are blocked. Sami Zayn is blocked. The Usos are blocked. Paul Heyman is blocked. Braun Strowman is blocked. Nick Aldis is blocked. Everybody that does Roman Reigns dirty is blocked.
I hope you've blocked Kevin Owens then.
I will never.
Oh. So you just
Kevin Owens was fighting for a cause. He didn't do him dirty.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? If you earn the match, okay, then you're fighting. But if you do him dirty, then you get blocked.
Okay.
There's a psychology.
It sounds like it. It sounds like there's something in there. I'm not sure what it is. So Roman Reigns loses to Kevin Owens, Universal Championship. So now you get the Royal Rumble match. Everyone's all excited, like, oh, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Number 30, who's it gonna be? What secret entrant is it gonna be? Someone from the past? Oh, I can't wait. It's Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
What was the reaction like for you and then the people around you when they saw Roman Reigns show up?
This is when we start debunking, because let me tell you something. There was a pop. I have the clip. I can post it on my Twitter. There was a pop. We didn't have the numbers. We never knew Roman in the arena. We never knew Roman was number 30 because we don't know the number of the people coming out.
Well, no one knew Roman was in the Rumble.
Yeah, no, but the whole point is the internet was falling apart because it was number 30. We don't know. People popped and we're just waiting. And then after a minute, I remember people around me coming, oh, he was the last one because the screen was black.
Okay.
So there was a pop for Roman coming out. And at the arena, we didn't know he was number 30 and people popped. It was the internet that was falling apart, but I still have the clip and I will post it on my Twitter when we post this episode.
Wow. Yeah, because online.
Oh, I know.
Well, even watching it, I remember hearing boos, but obviously you're hearing, I don't know, different microphones picking up different things.
Yeah, because where I was, I'll send you the clip, and you can insert it if you want in the editing. There was no booing. There was. I'm not saying it was the biggest pop imaginable, but I think the only one that we were pretty aware what number he was Ty Dillinger because he came out at number 10. We didn't have, the screen was not working. So we didn't know what order they were coming out. So unless you were mentally keeping track, the people that were there were just popping for the people coming out because we didn't know until the match kept going and nobody else was coming out. And that's when we were like, oh, they made it number 30. But it took me a solid 5 minutes to put it together because you're just waiting. And the countdown is never really accurate on when the next person is going to come out. So yeah, this is a debunking moment because the internet did fall apart. But the people in the Alamo Dome this night were not aware that Roman was number 30. The screen was not working. We didn't know the order.
I think the internet lost their mind that night because when Roman Reigns lost the U.S. Championship to Jericho on that episode of Raw, they went into convince mode. They're like, well, obviously Roman's winning the Rumble. Then obviously
Oh,
he's going to WrestleMania to win the world title.
by the way, which I know we'll get into this as we keep discussing, but people need to give Roman his flowers for getting people over by being the last eliminated on a Rumble. Because my God, they have played that card. They did it here, and they do it again like 4 more times when they have somebody eliminate him last to get the big massive pop because nobody wanted to see Roman win the Rumble. They started it here with Randy.
Yeah, Randy Orton does toss out Roman Reigns to win
After
the
he
Royal
tosses
Rumble
out the Undertaker.
for the second time. Yeah, Roman Reigns tosses out the Undertaker, Jericho, and Bray Wyatt. So
This Rumble was crazy, by the way, because we
Goldberg's
had
in it.
We had Undertaker, we had Brock Lesnar was in it. Like this Rumble was stacked. People were talking about the last Rumble because we had Cena, Punk, Roman, Rollins, but 2017 Rumble, crazy stacked.
Let's read off who's in it so we can just figure this out. So it's so funny because you see the names instantly, you're like, wow, this is 2017. So here we go. We'll go through the list. Big cast.
Yep.
Chris Jericho, Kalisto, Mojo Rawley. Oh man, I can't remember. Mark Henry, Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn, Big Show, Ty Dillinger, James Ellsworth, Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, Kofi Kingston, The Miz, Sheamus, Big E, Rusev, Cesaro, Xavier Woods. Now we're getting that Xavier Woods was 20. So now 21. You got Bray Wyatt, Apollo Crews. He was my pick. Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, Brock Lesnar, Enzo, Goldberg, Undertaker, and Roman Reigns. Like the last 10 besides Apollo Crews.
It was crazy.
It's pretty stacked. And I will give flowers to Enzo. He is stacked in that group. He was number 27, most popular wrestler for so long. I don't want to hear any shit about today's world, but at this time, people loved Enzo.
Oh, yeah.
But man, the last few people, even you're talking about the 2025 Rumble where it was like Rollins, Cena, Punk, Roman. It was like boom, 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 boom. And I feel like here in 2017, you have Goldberg, Taker, and Roman, your last three.
And Brock.
Well, he's not the last three.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Brock was
Taker. Like
he
the
was
fact
26.
that these guys, like these names being in a Rumble was crazy. And this is back when they would actually use these Rumbles eliminations to set up your storylines for WrestleMania. You weren't just looking for the Rumble winner. You had to pay attention on what happened in the Rumble match because half of the WrestleMania card came out of these eliminations.
I know. That's been dropped over the years where they're like, we'll just ignore that part. We'll start a storyline in December while it's Christmas time and New Year's.
Just booking a freaking smart booked Rumble, the things that it could do,
Yeah. But they know what they're doing for months ahead of time, of course. Of course. If they did, you would have a storyline building in Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. But let's not get into today's world. Let's just talk about 2017.
Right.
Well, Randy Orton won the Rumble. He goes on to fight Bray
Roman
Wyatt.
Eliminated Undertaker and said, "This is my yard now."
Well, he didn't say that yet. At least on the microphone, that is. But now
he said it as he eliminated.
He pointed at him. He was like, "Oh
and
shit!"
Said, "This is my yard."
But okay, Undertaker at this point in time really not very active in the ring, and we're clearly setting up, like you said, Roman Reigns versus Undertaker at WrestleMania. Now, the year before we had Triple H versus Roman Reigns, that didn't go very well for the internet fans. And now you're heading into this. Like, why can't the question for you is not about Undertaker. The question is, why do they keep putting Roman Reigns against like established stars? They think that's going to get over the internet fans.
It's not, especially when you're putting him against fans' favorites, internet favorites, legends like this. But if this would have served the purpose that it was supposed to, it would have been a massive milestone for Roman, but it did nothing.
No. Unfortunately. We head into Fastlane, though, because Braun Strowman did cost Roman Reigns the championship match, the Royal Rumble. So we get Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns at this event. It ended Strowman's undefeated streak at this point in time because he was dominating. And I loved Braun Strowman. I even loved when Roman Reigns came back as the tribal chief, taking out The Fiend and Braun Strowman, because it really played back to, man, like Roman and Braun were at the hip for a long time, And then Roman
Yeah.
and Bray were at the hip for a long time.
This
I thought
was
it was like a nice,
legendary.
if you were paying attention, you noticed, oh, he targeted these two people, not
Yeah, people that he
anybody.
has major history with, and Braun Strowman's "I'm not finished with you" while talking to Roman really got over with the internet.
People did love that.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what really ruined Braun Strowman was playing a giant like cello when he was making fun of Elias.
Oh my God, the symphony something match. What
Yeah,
was it called? It was something symphony. I remember this.
I drank enough to forget it.
Okay.
I don't want to remember that match. Uh, but Fastlane is just another event to get us ready for WrestleMania. Roman Reigns defeating Braun Strowman. Now, The Undertaker confronted both men, though, building tension to their match, clearly building up to, we'll take your fight on Braun, we'll take your fight Roman at WrestleMania. But we do get Roman Reigns versus Undertaker, no holds barred. Were you there for this event?
Yes, I was. WrestleMania 33 in Orlando.
What did you think of the match?
It was stupid. It was ridiculous, and I was very upset that they put Roman Reigns in that position.
Now, Undertaker, obviously, on his podcast and his, they did a whole documentary series about this on, I don't know, the network maybe at the time. And it was like 6 parts. And he talks about how he is so out of shape. He's
Years
not,
later, Taker takes the blame, but at that moment, nobody was taking the blame but Roman.
well, because what, Taker's going to go on TV the next night and be like, sorry, everybody, I wasn't doing good
You
cardio.
know what? You know what? Not to retract what I just said, but I actually do think what they let Roman come out and do the next day was some of the best stuff they done with Roman in years.
Well, every night after WrestleMania, even last year, where he said, I'm not the guy. I'm not a bad guy. I am the guy. And you're like,
Yeah.
damn. And then this year he says something the same. But yeah, this match brings back so many like Goldberg versus Undertaker memories where you're like, damn, everything keeps going wrong. Like nothing is going right in this match. And it's no fault probably to Roman. It's clearly Taker is just not in shape for this type of match in this type of ending. And the fact that at the end of this match, it's really like kind of like the retirement of Undertaker. Like, did they think this was going to be a good match? And they thought we should retire at the end of this. Like, make him an audible, maybe.
I think he wanted to retire at the end of it. I just think that Taker was not gonna go out on that performance, and I get it. I think that the least you could listen, people are gonna come for me. The least you could have done is actually stay retired to at least give him that. But you couldn't because you have to get a good match in there. The least you could have done to make it up was to stay retired, so at least Roman could go on to say he retired him. But no,
of course,
this did nothing, and I.
Well, got more
I
money
will
on the
tell you
table.
one thing though. People were all sad, and I was just happy that Roman won. So I have clips of me. I was like, I walked out of that WrestleMania in heaven. Seth won, Brock won, Roman won. I was in cloud 9. I was so happy.
I think at the end of the night when everyone was like tweeting about this event, it was more about Undertaker retiring than the hate on Roman. But there was just a lot of like, wait, Undertaker's retiring? Why? Why now? After that? Ew.
Did you not see the match? Of course he needs to retire.
Well, yeah, because he got beaten by the big dog. Now we're back to back WrestleMania matches where me personally as a fan, I didn't find them enjoyable. I thought they were long and just muddling through getting the big spots in. Like I didn't think Triple H versus Roman was good. I didn't think Roman Reigns versus Taker was good. I thought Brock versus Roman was good at 31.
Yeah. Yeah, but these are things that people are not, these are conversations that people are not ready to talk about because people are going to blame it on Roman, right? But did you enjoy Triple H 20 something minutes match against Batista, against Seth, against Roman? This isn't a Roman problem. This is a Triple H problem. He does it every WrestleMania, but people love Triple H, so they're not going to have that conversation and they're just going to blame it on Roman, who was the scapegoat at the time.
That's a good point too. They did use him a lot. We're like, you can just handle it. Like you can handle those boos, right? You're fine. Like, oh, please.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, and the thing of it is like I make these points, but because I'm so Roman biased, people is like, no, you're just defending Roman. I'm like, no, I'm making good points that you don't have a comeback for because it's true. Every WrestleMania, Triple H has to go out there and have these long, drawn-out matches that do nothing for nobody, but you're gonna blame it on the younger star that he's going against because he's beloved. And I'm probably gonna be doing that with Roman in the upcoming years, because that's what we do when you have a favorite. But I think that Roman was put in situations where people. I'm glad that we're discussing it now because I thought it would take years before people would sit down and have a conversation on bias and be like, well, maybe it wasn't all on Roman,
No. I'm not gonna say Taker was a grandpa, but honestly, it was like watching Roman Reigns, who's like this in shape stallion, take on this grandpa, and you're expected to have some crazy great 5-star match or things of that nature. Like, you're not gonna get that here. You shouldn't have
The sad
expected it.
thing, and I know that Taker had his conditions, and the sad thing is that this was set up since January. There was time to figure out if he was gonna be able to get in shape. If not, can we just book a squash? Like let Roman squash him and let's get it over with in 5 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this could have been handled differently, because if you know since January at the Rumble that Taker is not really getting there and the time is getting closer, then book something smarter to help everybody involved. Roman
Well,
went and Taker took his bow, like he had his moment. So you could have done a match that matched what you were given at the time. But I
yeah.
mean, the respect for Taker, I will never, like, Taker is one of the greatest ever.
Oh,
And he
100%.
will forever be. And I still believe he's a dead man, and he still scares me to death, right? And that's just, not a lot of people have been able to keep the character, to keep us suspending our beliefs, even if we know better. That's something that Taker will forever do. But this was all so disappointing, and it did nothing for nobody when it should have been a humongous milestone.
Yeah, it's a black cloud over this match. Like, obviously, 30 years of Undertaker, you look at a couple bad matches, you can't be like, well, his whole career is ruined. No, just a couple bad ones towards the end. The first, million matches,
The
a
Boneyard
great
match
job.
was amazing, by the way. Like, his last match as of now, the Boneyard, I loved it. So there's that too.
Yeah, it's funny though. But so next night on Raw, though, Roman Reigns comes out to a chorus of boos. Everyone hates him. It's the Raw crowd, obviously, after WrestleMania. He can't talk. They won't let him speak. And he finally just
I
grabs the
wasn't booing.
microphone.
I was the only one.
Oh, you're the
I
only
can
one,
tell you.
only one
I
cheering.
was actually. This is the first time that I would tell you I was the only one cheering for this man. It
People were
was
like, "Get her!"
crazy.
I can't imagine how well you got through that night, but a lot of drinks probably. But this is my yard now, is what Roman says, and everyone booed except for Isa, and everyone was upset except for Isa. And that was the beginning.
This could have been a massive heel turn, and they didn't pull through with it. And I thought that's where we were going with it, because he just came out, let everybody boo. There was smiling and smirking at the people, got more aggressive, because it wasn't booing. People were chanting some crazy stuff, right? And you see Roman just standing there, smirking, smiling. This is my yard now. Drops the mic and walk away. And I was like, wow, we could really reset. Like, he's getting booed. Everybody hate him. Let's do it. No.
Nope. But we did get more Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns at Payback the next month, and this is where there's a great GIF out there where Braun Strowman has a big set of stairs, and Roman is running at him, and Braun just throws him and just cracks Roman in the face, and he just falls over. That's what this match is.
Yep.
That's really what all this is. This is just watching.
They put on great matches together.
Always. I am a proponent for Braun Strowman. I will do a Braun Strowman podcast by myself if I have to, but I love
a Braun Strowman hoodie.
I do. It's hanging up over there next to the photos of my children.
Wow. My kids, Braun Strowman, so proud.
Yep. I replaced all my kids' photos for their school year photos this year with pictures of Braun. You have to. You gotta. Good old Braun. Yeah, it's just men beating the crap out of each other. Though we're heading into a pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, in June of 2017. This is one of the worst pay-per-views ever.
Oh my God.
Flat out, it's saved by one match, and that's the main event. The whole thing is bad. Don't watch it. Don't tune in. Don't Google it. I'm saving you the time right now. If you want to watch something, watch the main event. It's good, but that's it.
I feel that way about a lot of these Extreme Rules pay-per-views.
Oh, yeah?
Remember the Halloween theme one?
Is that when
Miz
was eaten was that when Miz was eaten by zombies?
No, that was at a Backlash. That was after Mania, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Because it was right after they fought. Yeah, it was after they fought Bad Bunny, remember? And then it was Damian Priest and The Miz by themselves on the pay-per-view post WrestleMania. But the Halloween theme one was the one where Rey Mysterio lost his eye.
It grew back.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
That's what science does.
Wrestling.
That's what Tylenol does for you. But Extreme Rules has a fatal 5-way match. It's Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt. Well, Roman Reigns does not win. Samoa Joe does. And that does get us Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar at the strangest name pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah.
Where if the look at the poster, I'll allow you to Google the poster, original poster of Great Balls of Fire. It looks like a big old dick with two balls.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what this poster looked like.
Oh yeah.
Now you got me Googling.
I said I want you to Google it because it's necessary to see, because it is truly balls and a wiener. And then they try changing it a little bit.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wait. How did I forget about that?
I don't.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, Google it, kids. Google it.
Google it. You'll see balls. And then they changed it. And what's even funny about this, I remember the lawsuit about this because, you know, there's a song. Goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. Well, apparently the WWE was like, we'll just name it anything. Well, the people who own that song were like, excuse me, you owe us some money because you can't just use our IPs. Vince loses his mind when someone does that to him, but he thinks it's okay to do it to somebody else. Well, out of nowhere, they changed the poster, but the name sticks. Even the intro of the pay-per-view has the song Great Balls of Fire in it. So clearly the checks were signed and everything was taken care of. But it's just so damn funny that they had Great Balls of Fire. Like, what, you know, an interesting discussion lately I've been seeing of like, lose Vince McMahon pay-per-view names and make some new ones up. Well, I think we should resurrect Great Balls of Fire. If we're going to bring back WrestlePalooza.
I've been on team bring back Great Balls of Fire since the beginning.
Same. Set my balls on fire.
Oof, please.
Well, it can happen if you don't protect yourself, kids.
Oh God, ew.
I'm just
move on.
I'm just giving people the advice they need. An episode of Raw before Great Balls of Fire, Braun Strowman returns because he's been out since since Payback. So now he's returned 2 pay-per-views later, and he challenges Roman Reigns to an ambulance match. And this is where
in a while.
Car crashes and people are getting tipped over inside ambulance. This is one of my favorite. Great Balls of Fire is just so entertaining for the name, the poster, and these matches. What are your thoughts on ambulance matches? Because sometimes I actually like them.
Same. I sometimes like them. I remember that we hadn't seen one in a while, and you know, like I'm at this point not so new, but I'm newer to the fandom. So like I seen them on rewatch. But since I've been watching like religiously WWE, I hadn't seen one. So I was super hyped. Especially because of the quality of matches they had given us before this too. You knew they were gonna kill it.
Well, speaking of killing, Roman Reigns tried to kill Braun Strowman here. Roman Reigns had Braun Strowman in the ambulance.
Thank you very much.
Then he crashed the ambulance with Strowman inside it, leaving both men a little injured. And I remember the internet. How can you call him a baby face when he's trying to kill people? Well, he's fighting a monster. He was trying to
kill the guy that wouldn't leave him alone. A monster among men, yes.
He's a monster among men. And then wasn't he a monster among monsters was the thing too for a little while?
No, he's being everything.
How dare you? Don't worry, Braun. Don't worry. Sorry, I was just talking to Braun's sweatshirt.
I love the way you look up to him like he's no longer.
He's over there.
He's just not in WWE anymore. Everybody, calm down.
They're gonna think he's locked in my basement. He's not. He's doing a food show. All right. As you watch this in 10 years from now, he was doing a food show in 2025 of November. Yeah. So I love that moment where they're just. The ambulance match really adds a lot to what's going on here. But Roman Reigns, so he's demanding a world championship match against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Well, instead, we get a fatal 4-way. It's Roman versus Brock versus Braun versus Samoa Joe. And you want to talk about potatoing somebody? This whole match is 4 badass men actually punching each other in the face.
Big, meaty men slapping meat. I was here for this too. This was back when we were spoiled and got like 4 SummerSlams in a row in New York. Those were the days. Yeah, this match was everything that you would think of by listening to those names and more. Like if you would have high expectations just because of the names, they actually surpass your expectation. This match was fun, and it's a
Dude.
great rewatch.
Oh, Braun Strowman hits Brock really hard. Well, then Brock decides to take his knee and slam it into Braun Strowman's face. And Braun, you seem
You
you start to
probably should not do
realize,
that to Brock. Like,
yeah,
cause I don't understand what Braun was thinking here. Like, maybe he was hungry. I don't know. But like, why would you do that to Brock? To Brock of all people, who just Brock doesn't f around. He just wants to come out, wrestle, make his money, and leave. Don't make any mistakes. That's all I'm saying.
this was also around the time Brock Lesnar was a part-time world champion, and he would only appear so often. And so when he did, the matches were very important. And then that was brought up where like, well, not the UFC champions or boxing champions, like they don't defend their championship every
Correct.
month because they're preparing for a big fight. So they have to prepare themselves. I like that comparison. I don't like it in today's world because you're trying to. I'm watching a television show. I do want to see my world champion on your television show, no matter who you are. I don't care if you're Cody or Rock or Austin or Hogan. I want to see you on TV because
I'd
you're
rather not
supposed to
see
be the
Cody,
guy.
but I mean, we guess we have to see him.
You have to see him. So
Cody
I
can go
like
and
Brock
prepare for a
Lesnar.
big match for like 10 years or so. I wouldn't mind
Who?
if he did that. Cody, he can go and prepare for a big match for 10 years and then,
And come back
yeah.
with his kids grown.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you're hate. We're
No,
doing
I appreciate Brock. I am of the belief of, and I do watch other sports. I watch UFC, I watch, boxing, I watch other things. But I am of the belief that if something is there all the time, you don't appreciate it as much as we only get it sporadically.
agreed. And I thought
There's a
Brock
reason why
Lesnar
you're not eating
champion.
pizza every day, or there's a reason why you don't get gifts every day. You don't get your birthday every day because it should feel special.
I wish Christmas was every day.
I don't.
Well,
It will get expensive. Why would you wish that? You have like kids.
listen,
How much it would be?
I've already put on Christmas music in my house. Deal with it,
Oh
sucker.
well, of course. That's that. After Halloween is fair game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, November 1st. That at midnight, I hey Alexa, play me Jingle Bells, and then boof.
You know that Puerto Rico has the longest like Christmas season. We have Christmas until at least I think it's like January like 18th or something.
I like this idea. That's when I take
Yeah.
down my Christmas decorations. I'm like, it's too
Yeah,
cold to
no,
where I live.
we keep
I don't
it
want to go
going.
outside.
We
I don't want
keep
to go
it going.
outside now. But yeah, finish. Brock Lesnar counters Roman Reigns' spear and pins Roman Reigns to win the match. And
Mm-hmm.
we are more Brock versus Roman, but that's the end of the show here because Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe and Braun and Roman kill each other at WrestleMania,
Banger.
SummerSlam. That is. It's just funny because every time we do a SummerSlam, the year before, Roman and Rusev didn't have a match. They were supposed
Yeah, I
to.
remember I
It
had a
didn't
fit on the
happen.
last show because I was
And
there and I didn't get to see my favorite.
and then before that SummerSlam, it was Roman and Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. It's like, and then the year before that, it was Roman versus Randy Orton. Roman
Yeah,
has a very random SummerSlam matches.
he
In a
does.
few years, though, it's going to be like, oh, he's in the world title every time because that's where he belongs. This time, you're like, we're not really sure what to do with you. Do you want to be U.S. champion again? Maybe a tag team champion? Like, we don't really know what to do with you.
It's really funny though because this year that we just discussed is like a very random year for Roman. He wasn't really in the world title picture here until the end of it. But this year has a lot of rewatch value matches. That ambulance match, that SummerSlam match, even the Royal Rumble match with Kevin Owens. Like there's so many good matches here that you could go back and rewatch and they age well.
That's true too, and I'm glad we discovered that Kevin Owens is actually Roman Reigns' top rival versus the internet's
1000%.
obsession with Brock Lesnar.
1000% is Kevin Owens, but people, yeah, I'm so glad you're here to be my Roman Reigns therapist, Steve, because when I make these points, people tell me I'm delusional. I'm not. I'm making good points. You just don't want to listen to me.
Well, now I can see why the people are questioning you because, yeah, dog's name after Roman. I believe you have a
I love
tattoo.
my
You
Roman
got a
Reigns.
wrestling buddy. You got a
Let me tell
standee
you something.
behind you.
I have to, but I can't. Every once in a while, and I feel like once you start covering and analyzing and doing it right on my streams, I like to watch my shows as me. We're gonna watch and have fun, right? But when I'm talking wrestling with other people like you and all that, I like to just point out things that not everybody mentions in a way that can create discourse and conversation, right? And I feel like a lot of times people don't put the two separate versions of, yeah, because on my streams I'm just drinking and having fun. We're watching wrestling. It's a party, right? So yeah, I'm talking crap. But I like to think that I've been doing this long enough where I can have conversations that just bring a valid debate. And if you find somebody to listen to you open-minded, it really is a fun discourse to discuss.
Yeah, but I think it's funny you rattled off those matches that are worth watching. Well, don't go watch Roman Reigns versus Undertaker.
No, please don't. I never rewatched it. And it was so
No,
funny because like recently somebody on my channel asked me to do to rank Roman Reigns main events because he just did his number 10th, the most of anybody ever. And I can't do it yet because I know that I have to rewatch some that I haven't watched in so long. It would be unfair to rate them out of what's on my head now, and I definitely don't want to watch 32 or 33 back.
no,
Or 34 because the crowd ruined it. But anyways,
the biggest part about that
show.
Yeah, that's the next show. This one though really highlights that now Roman Reigns, this is my yard, but yet they don't. Clearly Vince like wants Roman to be something, but he doesn't know what he wants him to be yet, because we've had him as the main babyface, taking down the League of Nations, fighting Vince, fighting the Authority. We have seen this Roman, but this Roman in 2016 to 2017, it just feels like he has no identity. He's just Roman Reigns. Like if someone had to describe who you are, I'd be like, I don't know. He's just a big, tough, muscly guy who I got nothing. That's all I could think about it to define him at this point.
Right. A lot of missed opportunities or hitting the button too late with Roman, because I told you that heel turn should have happened after that Undertaker match and after that reaction that the crowd had, and they didn't really go through with it.
That's true. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here on the History of Wrestling channel, talking about Roman Reigns. We'll tune in next week, because next week we'll get a little deeper and dive into 2017 to 2018, SummerSlam to SummerSlam. So you have time to go back and watch some of those matches. But Amblin's match, Fatal 4 from SummerSlam, and Kevin Owens, like you said, are probably the go back and rewatch. Extreme Rules 2017, burn it. If you find it, burn it. But Google Great Balls of Fire, because that's fun.
Google the poster, please.
Just Google the poster. Well, I'm Steve. She's Isa. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
The Wrestling History Channel, where legends never sleep. The Wrestling History Channel, time in the deep. Relive the battles. The Wrestling History Channel.